Hey guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com. So before we get started with this lesson, I want you guys to watch this short clip of habanera, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. So honestly, which hand did you watch the most? Let me take a guess. I'm going to guess that it was probably the left hand, because the left hand was doing all this cool stuff. It was flying up and down the neck. And the point that I really want to make with this, guys, is that oftentimes the left hand gets all of the glory. But if we really think about it, and we really think about what it takes to get to that next level in our playing, it really takes both hands being completely in sync with each other. So that brings us to the point of this lesson. This lesson is going to be talking about proper right hand form. Now this lesson is tied to a complete article, so you guys can read the entire proper right hand form article here. So the article is going to talk about three things. It's going to talk about hand position, where to place your hand, and it's also going to cover a couple approaches for strumming and 3 approaches for fingerpicking. Now this video lesson is going to cover 2 of those 3. This lesson is going to talk about the 3 approaches for fingerpicking, and it's also going to be talking about hand position. So this lesson is actually part of our fingerpicking concepts course. This is a course that has over 19 lessons that deep dives into fingerstyle playing. So if you guys are interested in learning more about fingerpicking, then definitely check out this course right here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick into this lesson. Hey guys, in this video we're going to be looking at the 3 styles of fingerpicking. So that's thumb, a 3-finger approach, and a 4-finger approach. So we're going to be talking about right hand placement, and we're going to be using one simple exercise that is based out of a C major chord to try all 3 styles out with. So think of this lesson as the introduction, just getting used to the 3 styles and covering the proper right hand form for each of them. And as you get into the next modules, we'll have a lot of exercises using all 3 styles and performance tunes. So you'll not only learn how to do all 3 approaches, you'll actually learn how to apply them into performance pieces. So that's what's great about this course. You're not only learning the technique, you're going to be applying it in your playing. All right, so let's go ahead and kick off with the thumb approach. So there's 3 right hand forms that I'm going to talk about. And remember guys, it's up to you on which one is the most comfortable for you to use. Or maybe you can use one for this situation, one for a different situation. So let's kick it off with floating. So with our right hand, we're just going to be floating. And I want you guys just to go ahead and strum down with your thumb. So the bottom part of your thumb, all open strings. But take note of where my right hand is. So my thumb is basically sticking straight right where the neck ends, right? So right where that hole begins, that's where my thumb sticks straight, and I've got a bit of a claw shape with my right hand. So I'm just going to strum down. Okay? Let's actually learn the lick real quick too that we're going to be using. So go ahead and make a C chord. That's your ring finger on the 3rd fret of string 1. And let's just go ahead and strum that again. So our lick is just going to be playing string 4, string 3, string 2, string 1, and then strum. But let's keep it in time. Let's do quarter notes. So we'll have 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, strum, 2, 3, repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, strum. Okay? So the trick too with playing with your thumb or any finger is to try and hit every string at the same amount of pressure, right? So you don't want to kill one string. You don't want to hit it like super hard and then super light, right? So you want everything to have the same volume. So that's the trick with all of this stuff, unless the music calls for you to play something louder. But for the most part, let's keep that in mind as we play through all of this. So let's talk about another placement for the right hand. So if we look at the middle of the where the hole is, right, directly in the middle, where's my index finger is. If I go down a little bit and to the right, I can get a great resting spot for my pinky. So I can put my pinky right about there. So just go straight down and to the right a little bit, and I have a very good spot to rest my pinky finger. So I'm just going to leave my pinky finger a little bit bent, and my other fingers are just kind of sticking out straight. And I can run that same little lick. 4, 3, 2, 1, strum. And a variation on that is you can add your ring finger right next to it. So just put your ring finger down. And you can try both approaches. Now, to be honest with you guys, I do not like this approach. A lot of players use it. So it's a very popular way to play. It's kind of like anchoring. I never liked it. I felt very restricted and awkward by it. But it's used by so many great players. So I'm just throwing it out there. So, don't not try it because I don't like it. You might actually like it more than anything else that we talk about. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, what I do like if I was to anchor my right hand for using a thumb approach is to kind of grab the bottom part of the uk body. So I'm grabbing right down there. And I can grab with 2 or 3 fingers, just leave my index finger floating. That is way more comfortable for me. So you can just run that same exercise, 4, 3, 2, 1, strum. So if I was to anchor, that's the way that I would prefer to anchor. So again, it's just grabbing the bottom part of the body and just keeping your fingers there. You don't want to push up. It's not like you're holding the uke. So it's just kind of resting them there. So those are the 3 approaches. We have floating, anchoring with the pinky, or grabbing the bottom with those 3 fingers, middle, ring, and pinky. So 3 different ways for your right hand form. So let's move on to style number 2. So style number 2, we'll talk about a 3-finger approach. So you can use the thumb, index, middle finger, or you can use thumb, second, and 3rd finger. So it's up to you guys. You can try both ways out, these 3 or these 3. So with this approach, remember your thumb gets string 4 and string 3, gets 2 strings. So thumb gets string 4 and string 3, index gets string 2, middle gets string 1. So if we run that exercise again, I'm going to use this for our demo. I have thumb, thumb, index, middle, and I can strum down with my thumb. So I like the floating approach for all of my finger picking. But for the 3-finger and 4-finger approach, you can also use the anchored pinky. I would not do this because you need your fingers, right? So this doesn't work, only for the thumb. So you have basically 2 options, to float or hover, or to anchor that pinky. Okay, so I'm going to demo the way that I like playing, which is floating. So again, I have thumb, thumb, index, middle, strum down with my thumb. So that is in a gist the 3-finger approach. Now our 4-finger approach just adds 1 more finger, right? So each finger gets a string. So I have thumb for string 4, index for string 3, middle for string 2, and ring finger for string 1. So we can try that. We have 4, 3, 2, 1, strum again down with our thumb. So again, we have thumb, index, middle, ring, strum. Okay, and don't forget, again, for the 4-finger approach, you can choose to anchor with a pinky, or you can hover over. So one way to practice this little exercise before you move on is just to cycle through all three. So I'm just going to do the hover for this demo, but I just start with the thumb. Then I can go to 3 finger, and then 4 finger. And when that gets comfortable, put it in a timing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, strum, 2, 3 finger now. 1, 2, 3, 4, strum, 2, 4 finger now. 1, 2, 3, 4, strum, 2, 3, 4, done. So that way you can just get used to practicing, and timing is extremely important in music, so it's another thing that you get to work on too. So it's cool to be able to switch back and forth between the techniques, because later on in your playing you'll encounter songs that you may want to use a combination of all three styles instead of one style for the whole song. So it's a good idea to practice switching back and forth between the types. So those are the 3 approaches, guys. So in a nutshell, this video is just kind of our introduction. So in the next module, we're going to be diving deep into exercises, and we're going to be applying those exercises into performance songs. So you won't just learn the technique, but you'll learn how to use it in a real life situation or application. So I'll see you guys in the next module. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. It was just a little glimpse into our fingerpicking concepts course. Again, this course has over 19 lessons. And what's cool about it is it takes the 3 approaches you just learned, and it presents multiple exercises for each approach and performance pieces. So you won't only learn how to do the approaches, but you're actually going to be applying them into real life playing situations. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope to see you in the course.